Virginia High Bearcat basketball will be on the air in 5 minutes. Three minutes. Two minutes until airtime. Sixty seconds. Thirty seconds till Bearcat basketball. Fifteen seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Bearcat basketball from the radio home of Virginia High Athletics. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Show on Bearcat Radio. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Show on Bearcat Radio. Good afternoon, and welcome to tonight's coverage of Virginia High basketball on Bearcat Radio. It's the second game of the doubleheader from Battle Hill as Virginia High squares off with John Battle tonight in boys varsity hoops. This is Dylan Hutton along with Coach Reese Sidnor as we get set to take you through another great evening of Virginia High basketball, and hopefully ends a little bit differently than the last one did. A tough loss for the Lady Cats.
Tough one to bounce back from.
Yeah, tough one for them to bounce back from. Let's see if we can hear you there now.
I was just saying that's a tough one to bounce back from, but I know we will, and we can't dwell on this one too long because we got a big game coming up Tuesday night.
54-51, that one went final in overtime, so a tightly contested game. And, Coach, we've seen the Bearcats win 2 of their last 3 contests with different players stepping up throughout. What does last week in particular, had a lot of players out with fighting the flu or flu-like symptoms. What does last week in particular say about the growth process of the team?
I think we're getting better as a team, as a unit. We've had some other kids step up because like you said, we've had some kids out. So that's just making this team stronger. And and like I think you said earlier, they was in time for second place right now. So that's just going to make us better if we can get in the playoffs. You want that deep bench.
As we welcome you to the Bearcat Tip-Off Show, got about 4 minutes till this one gets underway. Bearcat sophomore Tyler Strong has fired in 62 points over the last just 2 games. What stands out to you about him, Coach Sidnor?
Biggest thing for him is he can hit from anywhere. He can hit the jumpers. He can hit the 3. He can drive to the basket. So it's hard to defend a kid like that. If I had to say one thing I'd like to see him improve in on is maybe in the offseason, I'd like to see him get a little bit stronger, because if we can make a run with this team, those bigger post players are going to get physical with them, and that's the question I have for him right now.
So get a little bit of strength going. Okay. Yeah, he is a little bit lanky, but boy, is he taking advantage with the height early this year. Virginia High's had their struggles on the road this season in true road games. They're carrying a 1-4 record into tonight. How do you change that trend if you're the Bearcats? And what makes going to a different venue, different baskets and everything, how does that change, and what makes it tough to adjust to?
I mean, I think when you're on the road, it could be anything. When you're at home, you got familiar. You're familiar with your locker room. You're familiar with your routines. It might be something about the court. It could be anything. And when you get on the road, it's just that little thing that might change. And sometimes you be a little. You might like a certain, a certain uniform. It could be anything. But I'll be honest with you, we played here so much. I mean, this is almost like a home away from home. Now, the only thing is, if you get on a slow start, do you contribute that to being away from home? And like the stat you brought up with 1-4, if you get on a slow start, do you start pressing a little bit?
2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock before we get this one tipped off. John Battle's last game, they defeated Marion 66-57 at Marion. And for Virginia High, they're coming off a 76-68 win against Tazewell. Tyler Strong had 34 points in that one, 14 points from Alex Inman, 10 from John Clifton, and they did that all without Gavin Austin, who was out with the flu, and that was a defense that forced a lot of turnovers for the Bearcats. They pushed the tempo, was able to do a lot of things that we didn't otherwise see them do a lot this year, and they really took control of that game against Tazewell, but Tazewell hung around.
they did, and I give them all credit in the world. They fought, and I mean, you kept thinking how well we played. It was going to be a 15, 20-point lead. And you look up, we were only up by 6, we're only up by 7. So I give Tazewell all the credit in the world. That was a hard-fought win for us.
Previous meeting between these two, they've only played one time before. They haven't played twice like the girls have. It was back on January 11th. Battle won by 10, 66-56. Caden McConley had 19, and also Isaac Deal had 15 in the win against Virginia High in that previous meeting. So let's take a look at some storylines real quick. The Bearcats are trying to split the season series with a win, and Battle is going for their 13th win of the year. Battle sitting at 12-6 on the year. The Cats at 5-13. Some players to watch for tonight's game. Watch out for Caden McConley. Leads the team in scoring. He's averaging 17 a game, over 100 points this year. He's actually one of 3 or 4 Battle players that has over 100 points on the year. And for Tyler Strong, of course, 62 points in the last 2 games. We'll see if he can keep that up. Of course, a slow game for him is sometimes hanging around 15. That's still a good basketball game. So we'll see who can step out. We always have that one guy that seems like it steps up and puts together 20-plus points. So we'll see how that goes as we get set here for the starting lineups to be introduced. So that player of the game, players to watch, Caden McConley, Tyler Strong. And now let's go to Coach Sidnor for the keys for tonight's game.
I think keys, we got to come out here and we got to play defense. Get after Battle. Don't let them get comfortable. I mean, we got a big crowd here tonight, and that last game, I mean, it was electric. I mean, just energy, both crowds. So we got to play defense and get Battle out of their home advantage here. Second, we got to get our scores going early. We have 3 that can next thing you know, have 20 points on the board. You got Gavin, you have Alex, and you have Tyler. So we got to get those 3 guys going early. And the last one is we got to handle momentum shifts. They're going to be just like that girls game. There's going to be a bunch of different momentum shifts. You got to be able to handle that. Our boys, I like to see us not getting that 2 to 5 minute lull where we next thing you know we start turning the ball over, we start taking shots that we shouldn't be taking. We start jacking up some shots. So handle momentum shifts, just stay with it, run an offense, and we'll be fine.
Bearcat starting lineup. Looks like John Clifton's going to start on the post for the Bearcats. As Tyler Strong, Alex Inman, Gavin Austin, Johnny Wynn will be the starting 5, and they're coached by first-year head coach Wayne Rasnick, again in his second stint with the Cats. He was the coach from 2010 to 2013 with assistants Lee Walker and Nick Howard. And for John Battle, their head coach John Odom, his starting lineup looks like this. Caden McConley, Reed Samuel are the first 2 players to be introduced in tonight's starting lineup. Doug Logan, a junior, down on the block. They're going to start him. And another thing to watch out for Battle, I talked about this with you right before we went live, or during the girls' game. We talked about Battle. The magic number for them is 50 points. If they get above 50, they're 12-3. When they don't reach the 50-point bar, they're 0-3.
Well, let's say that if they do go above 50, let's make them 12-4.
That's true. That's what we added that to the list there. Michael Stadeye, also a starter, along with Caleb Goins. So that's the starting 5 for Battle. So Goins, McConley, Stadeye, Logan, and Samuel to start for the Trojans. We get set to tip it off here. Tyler Strong, John Clifton, Johnny Wynn, Alex Inman, and Gavin Austin will get the start for the Cats, and they're all gray. Both teams wearing gray on the road this afternoon. And Battle in all white with green. Battle across the front, green number on the front and the back in the Nike swoosh. And again, the Cats sporting the Under Armour jerseys in the gray with orange numbers. There's a jump ball controlled by the Cats as Clifton tips it back to Inman, and we're underway for Game 2 of this doubleheader on Bearcat Radio. And we thank you for joining us. Dylan Hutton along with Coach Reese Sidnor. Gavin Austin jumper missed short. Rebound coming down with it is Caden McConley, the junior. 17 points per game. Dribbles it out near the top of the key. Passes off to Goins. Goins around. Now a drive. This is Stadeye, and we got
a late whistle there.
Turnover,
real late.
But do have a whistle called on the Cats.
I think on Tyler.
Yeah, they get it on Tyler Strong. That's an early foul on
That was
him.
a late whistle. We had Alex almost down the other end about to hit a layup.